revamp and reorientate itself in both in terms of how it deals with people. And these are the learnings which we all had. So I think the first new role for HR would come in terms of, or the task for HR would come in terms of redefining the policies, because I said the work environment is going to undergo a complete change. So it's going to have an impact on the policy frameworks. In the sense, more flexibility have to be brought in, procedures have to be redefined. So the HR force will have to completely work on and revamp on the complete policy framework. New age policies have to be brought in, which will take care of all the disruptions which have been brought in. Also, in terms of how the business is going to evolve, especially in terms of, if I were to talk of financial services, digitization is going to a big way with no contact point, in, digital routes being available to the customer, so that don't visit the branch. There's no human interface. So that digital, first the framework has to be established in an organization. That mindset or that change management has to be brought in, apart from digital initiatives or the technological intervention which needs to be done. So the HR has to manage the change which is going to happen. So the HR will be a major change agent in terms of bringing about this change and imbibing that change in a more seamless manner in an organization. I also feel with all this, and this was again a learning which has emerged, the way HR deals with people, empathy is going to be a big way. The employee wellness is a major enabler in what an employer brand you are. So we will have to, redefine our benefits in terms of how we are, making our benefit programs with complete wellness programs. We've been dovetailed with it in the whole scheme of things. And I'm talking also because this is going to stay. This is not going to go immediately. The implications and ramifications are going to be, long lasting. So wellness programs have to be brought in. They have to be made contemporary. They have to be dovetailed in your overall, benefits and program. When I also talk about, the HR has to find new ways of engaging, in more innovative ways of engaging workforce, which would be working remotely, which would be, the sense of, because primarily so far, human beings, gregarious by nature, they want company, they want people to interact with. That's going to go away. So that's going to be a major challenge for HR. How do they bring about these interventions to still keep remote working people together, connected, leverage technology, leverage social media being. So HR will have to really find very innovative ways in terms of bringing back or giving the employees the old feel of they are still connected, they are still part of the same team, the team connect, collaboration. People are still evolving with it, but then yes, HR will have to redefine its complete framework there. Another thing which is going to be there in terms of recognizing and defining the productivities parameters, and especially when I talk about productivities with whatever is happening around with the economic environment and post-COVID also with the kind of economic recovery and the kind of economic slowdown which we are facing, and it's going to continue for a while. So productivity matrices have to be really redefined, linked with and when I'm talking all this is for the frontline staff, linked with innovative, incentive plans to motivate people. Apart from that, another major change for HR is going to be in terms of with all the HRMSs and technology intervention, digital, artificial intelligence coming in, chatbots being there. HR has to have a face now, because employees would require, and I think this was one of the major learnings, the HR, wherever it was well connected with the employees, where employees had a touch and feel with the HR folks, that those organizations post recovery have been able to come back to work and with getting efficient has really been a game changer there. So employee need for support is a major requirement in terms of HR folks to be connected and be available for the people. And as I said, empathy is going to be the word there. Also, with post-COVID and this kind of a disruption, HR will have to find in its engagement programs in terms of how do they uh, bring about programs in terms of being available for the for the employees in terms of counseling if they need any kind of mental health kind of counseling there, they need any kind of support because all these things are going to get further edited in times to come when all this remote functioning continues to work. So HR role is going to get further and further redefined. Another major change which is going to happen is in terms of the workforce. So the contemporary workforce will really not work. We will have to, because margins are going to get under pressure, what kind of a resource planning that we do. We need to integrate the gig economy there. We need to leverage that talent pool which is available outside, how to engage them into the whole thing. So that's going to be a perspective change which HR has to start looking from now onwards. So HR role is really going to take uh, it's a defining moment for HR, how it progresses, collaborates, integrates with the business, how HR understands to be a business partner in terms of changing business dynamics, because the business dynamics are going to change, customer demands are going to change. So how HR is able to dovetail the business requirements with the contemporary HR practices and find innovations in terms of redefining these complete HR practices to be effective in times to come. So it's good time for HR folks to come in, but HR has the major competency which HR folks have to imbibe is in terms of how to manage change. So if they are able to guide the business leaders and be a torchbearer in terms of managing change in the organization, because that's going to be the only constant thing in terms of economy, in terms of how the businesses are going to redefine. So that's it.
What can HR do to maintain a pool of talent so that when the situation is likely, they can be onboarded immediately and start pushing the performance of the organization?
Okay. Now I have a little, I'll twist this complete thing to a different perspective. I would put it that how the HR can ensure that the organization is future ready. Now, a while ago, I had said that the business dynamics, the business dimensions are going to change. So the required competencies at the organization level would also undergo a change. So when I say a future ready organization, it is in terms of those competencies being available within the organization. So one part is that you really need to filter out the competencies or the potential of your talent pool, which is an ongoing process in any organization. So they have to really figure out what are the potential and the competencies which are required for the future to be identified, competencies to be required for the future, and then map them with what is available within the organization, and they can start working on developing the delta between what is required. So that's one. So you have an internal ready talent pool. Apart from that, if you were to look at external talent coming in, yes, HR needs to have a database in terms of. So, firstly, is the start point is obviously what competencies you want to bring on board. What are the future things which you want, say, 2 years or 3 years down the line, and thereafter, you start mapping what is the talent pool available with you, start engaging them, and you can lever your all social media platforms to engage those people across without doing a formal engagement with them, but understanding where they are, how they are moving. So as a HR leader, I would prepare my HR folks in terms of understanding what is the future requirement, doing that scout hunting right from day one, even if it amounts to mobilizing your consultants to require, so that they are on page, so that you can onboard this talent in real time frame as and when the situation improves. But then my first priority would be in terms of first prioritizing my own internal resources and bringing them up the curve.
Okay.